In a quiet town nestled between misty hills, there was a little shop called Timeless Wonders. Inside, surrounded by the rhythmic ticking of countless clocks, an old man named Elias worked tirelessly, crafting timepieces with exquisite precision. But the townspeople whispered that Elias's clocks were more than just instruments of time. Some claimed they held secrets, fragments of moments lost in the past. One evening, a young woman named Lillian stepped into the shop, her eyes scanning the shelves filled with intricate watches and grand clocks. She had heard the rumors, and she wasn't one to ignore a mystery. "I hear your clocks don't just tell time," she said, picking up an ornate pocket watch. It was unlike any she'd ever seen. Delicate celestial engravings covered its golden surface, and its hand seemed to move slightly, even when she wasn't winding it. Elias studied her for a long moment, then finally nodded. "Time is more than minutes and hours," he said, placing his wrinkled hands over hers. "Wind it and see for yourself." Lillian hesitated, then twisted the crown of the watch. The world shifted. The shop around her blurred, stretching and melting like wet paint. A moment later, she found herself in the middle of a grand ballroom, where a masquerade ball was in full swing. Crystal chandeliers cast golden light over the swirling figures in elegant masks and gowns. Music played from a string quartet in the corner. Her heart pounded. This wasn't just a vision. She was here. Gasps rippled through the crowd as a masked man in a midnight blue suit stepped toward her. He studied her closely, his voice a whisper when he finally spoke. "You shouldn't be here." Lillian's breath caught. The voice, there was something familiar about it. "Who are you?" she demanded. Before he could answer, the air around them crackled and the world fractured like glass. She gasped and found herself back in the clockmaker's shop, the watch in her palm ticking softly. Elias watched her with knowing eyes. "Memories are stitched into time," he said. "Some are best left untouched." But Lillian wasn't ready to leave. There was something about that man, about the way he had spoken to her. It wasn't just a memory, it was a message. "I need to go back," she insisted. Elias sighed. "It's dangerous. The longer you stay inside a lost memory, the harder it is to return. And if time realizes you don't belong," he trailed off. But Lillian could sense the warning in his voice. She swallowed hard, then twisted the pocket watch again. The world shifted once more. She was back in the ballroom. The masked man was waiting. This time he reached for her wrist, his grip cool and ghostly. "You came back," he murmured, almost sadly. Lillian's pulse raced. "Tell me who you are." The man hesitated, then slowly removed his mask. Her breath caught. It was her brother James, the brother who had disappeared 5 years ago. The brother everyone thought was dead. Lillian's chest tightened. "James, how is this possible?" "They erased me," he whispered. "But I left a clue. Find the old grandfather clock in the town square. Behind it, in the gears..." The world began to flicker and crack apart, as if trying to erase him all over again. "James, wait!" Lillian reached for him, but her fingers passed through empty air. With a final shattering sound, she was ripped back into reality. She stumbled, gasping, the pocket watch ice cold in her palm. Elias was watching her, sadness in his gaze. "Now, do you see?" he asked. Lillian clenched her fist around the watch. She had to find that clock. If there was even the slightest chance that her brother was still out there, trapped in time, waiting for her, she wouldn't stop until she unraveled the truth, even if it meant bending time itself, and she knew just where to start.